It's a beautiful day here on the Kannmacher turkey mortuary, row crop, cattle place. It is a beautiful day. Beautiful day. Swapped out the cylinder here, had some scoring on the ram. I don't know if I can show it to you. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Right there, a lot of scoring. So I usually have a friend of mine that has taught me quite a bit about combines. He comes and inspects. Got the inspection sheet there. So got some things to do. But overall, the combine is pretty in good shape. So Dion and I have been tinkering with it. Dion goes to preschool now, and so then I take him about noon. So what he does is he plays a tune on the piano, and he comes over here and climbs the ladder back down, plays a tune. So I'm thinking, something like Beethoven is what it sounds like. I'm not sure. So we're getting closer, He's got his tractor about ready. Got some parts from Shoop, and got some of them that are gonna go up there. That's the incline auger parts that I'm gonna try up there to keep from having to buy an entire auger. So the Vermeer baler, still got a little bit more to do there on it, but not much. We're about done baling, I think, for this year anyway. You ready to go home? Huh? Have you done your work for today? I know you want to ride, don't you? Huh? Oh, gee. Okay. Looks like I've got the top part off, and there was a frame here that went around. That's off. I've taken the yield monitor pressure plate off, and I've got almost, if you can see down there, those are what I'm taking off. I've got these off until the very last bolt on the very back end. And so now I'm gonna have to do some surgery. But shoot, wouldn't have it any other way. Gotta have it hard or difficult, or Now, what I think will be interesting was when I go to put the new ones back in, if my holes line up. Ooh boy, cross my fingers and my toes on that one. We'll see. Here we go. Never said it was gonna be easy, but it is off. And I still have all my fingers, which is a good deal. So now try to match it up, see what, if any, I have to cut off, hopefully none, and then get this back together. And usually, and that's the famous last words, is things go back together much easier than they came apart, I hope. Here we go. Going back on, using the vice grips to hold the plastic. It's kind of like a carriage bolt, not exactly, but anyways, to hold that in while I tighten it down. If a person had like a right angle air impact or something like that, small, I can't get my little DeWalt in here. Now, not super excited about the seam, but I'm using the same holes as the prior person. What I might have been able to do was to drill out the hole just a little bit bigger so that I could move it back and forth. But with the kind of yields we're getting anymore, these things probably are a one-season deal. Maybe not, but anyways, next time I'll probably have to put a whole new auger in. That'd be my guess. So then the thing comes, do you go ahead and, if I got to put a whole auger in, do you put the new auger in and put the where UHMW, I don't know, wear pads, these poly wear pads on it anyways, so that it's already there and it's not wearing, you know, I'm not sure, but anyway, you know what I'm saying. These are all tight. I'm gonna start putting it back together, but what I do have to do is I've got to cut this one off, I guess. So I'll have to get down to get a Sawzall to do that. And I think what I may do is just cut it off straight. We'll see. Because I'm gonna run it a while when we get going, and then I'm gonna check, because there's some other things I'm not loving it, but I think to get a new incline auger on this is a 2388, is like $600, and I think for $200 I did the liner. Good, wrong, I'm not sure, but well, they say poor man, poor ways. Well, that's what we got to do. So that's what we did. May have to do, this is kind of bubbled up right here. I may see if I can get another hammer, kind of flatten that back out. Shadow did some work on that piece, which is right there, last year to get us by, because it had just a lot of fatigue. The grain comes, so this is a clean grain elevator, comes up, there's the paddles, grain comes up here, drops into this incline, so it's, you can't tell, it's a slight incline, and it takes the corn up into the center. So now you think about when this combine, this is a 06, I believe it is, an 06. When this combine was built, it was built, so Central Illinois, now we're not in Central Illinois, we do not have black dirt. So when you think about the amount of pressure this thing is trying to push, and if you look in here, so this auger is about that height. We're taking it up another foot, plus it mounds way up high. There's a lot going on here, and so I'm not very easy on things, and sometimes I push it a little bit, a lot, and so there's some things I could do unloading a little more often. It just gets to be a pain if all you do is unload. We solved that though. We drilled, I shouldn't say we drilled a hole. We didn't fix a hole in the bottom of the clean grain elevator, cross auger, I think it was, 3 years ago, when we got our record. Who knows what it would have been if we hadn't had that stinking hole in there. But at least it kept us from having to go to town every 5 minutes, you know. So anyway. Now put it back together completely, you know what I mean. We'll see. Here's the thing about this. I've done 5 rows, I think it is, and I'm learning something every time, but not every time does it go on the same way. It's very fascinating how it's working. So for you, if you're putting them on, make sure you're in a good mood and patient, because it takes patience. So a couple keys are back up here. It's easier to take that gear off. It has been easier for me to take this bolt out and cock it over. Do be sure that you got a board in there that's going to remain in there, because that could really give you a headache or worse. Excuse me. Then I think that's it. Also, remember where you put the bolts down, lay them in a spot where you're going to find them. I've got one I'm missing somewhere, and that happens as well. So try not to let that happen to you. All right, then, back to it. Hey, being that it is go time for the corn, and I've got 3 more of these to put on, brushes, and I'm on the backside of COVID, and so you get real tired. I mean, like you can just sleep at the drop of a hat. It's just interesting. Anyways, I had to go to a different type of vitamin water. This kind. Hope it helps. Okay, great news is they're done. They're done. So now what I'm going to try to do is get the ends on by myself if I can here, I hope, and get everything double checked. All the parts, it shouldn't have extra parts. Get all the tools accounted for. That's another thing, because I've had before where I left a tool in there and then it gets found either by the head or by the combine or whatever. And I've heard that happen to other people. So I'm going to account for tools and get this out, and I'm going to go ahead, and I think I'm going to go ahead and throw it on the combine and see if she'll turn for me and make sure that that's going. Once I make sure that's going, then that's one more thing done. Ha-ha! Hey, don't forget to take 5, because it don't want to take a second. It won't take a minute. And you need to take a break once in a while. Okay, now we got the 1020 head on. And I went through everything that I could in the shop, but needed to put it on in order to put a couple missing skid plates on. So this is a skid plate. It's poly. So we're gonna put that on. It has rivets, and these are hammer driven rivets that go in it, and that's what holds it on. So these have a little rod in the center, and you drive it on through and it opens up, and that's how those stay on. So those are a wear part. Fortunately, I just need 2, so that's what we'll do. Stop that. Well, I got everything, and then I remembered I needed one more. So I made me a little flagpole stand thing. Got that ready. I shut the rock trap up underneath the throat, which is good because I found I found some penetrating fluid can up in there. Oh goodness, sometimes you forget. So I think we're ready. We'll see. You never know. When you first start, it can be a booger. It can be a booger. So anyways, until maybe tomorrow.
Like and subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Ask your questions so we can all learn together. Come and grow with us.